Kahit nasa Pilipinas ka, pwede kang mag-invest sa world's biggest companies gaya ng Apple, Microsoft, Google, at Amazon. Pero paano nga ba? Hello mga Kamaniwise! Welcome back to my channel. Dumarami na ang mga Pinoy na gustong mag-invest sa US stock market. At marami rin ang nag-request ng video na ito. So in this video, I will share the top 4 reasons why I invest in the US stock market, top ETF picks for beginners, some general knowledge about taxation, and ipapasilip ko rin sa inyo ang aking US stock portfolio. Kung interested kang mag-invest sa US stock market, watch until the end of the video. Let's go! 4 reasons why I invest in the US stock market. Number 1, for diversification. Investing in the US market allows Filipinos to diversify their investment portfolio beyond local stocks. Second, the US stock market gives you access to the world's largest economy. And it's also home to the biggest and most innovative companies, especially in technology, healthcare, and finance. Nandito ang malalaking companies gaya ng Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Netflix, Nvidia, and many more. Investing in these companies can still offer strong growth potential over the long term. Pangatlo, merong potential for higher returns. While investing in the US stock market carries some risk, it has historically offered higher long-term returns compared to local markets. Fourth, global market trends. By investing in the US stock market, Filipinos can gain exposure to international economic developments and technology advancements. I am using Interactive Brokers and GoTrade sa pag-invest sa US stock market. So, registered ang mga ito sa US Securities and Exchange Commission and other relevant US regulatory bodies. However, these platforms are not registered with the Philippine SEC. Filipino investors using these platforms should understand the risk involved. Sa case ng eToro, nag-issue ng warning ang SEC laban sa kanila. Kaya eToro decided to exit the Philippine market. Hopefully, hindi madamay ang mga brokers na ginagamit natin ngayon gaya ng Interactive Brokers and GoTrade at para tuloy-tuloy na makapag-operate sila dito sa Philippines. Sa mga gustong mag-invest sa US stock market despite the risk, meron akong separate tutorial videos for Interactive Brokers and GoTrade Philippines. So, i-check nyo na lang yung mga video links sa description box below. If you're a beginner, merong easier way to invest in the US stock market. Instead of picking individual stocks, Warren Buffett strongly recommends buying S&P 500 index fund and holding it for the long term. Naniniwala siya that most investors will do better with index funds rather than trying to pick individual stocks. So, if you want to invest in an index fund, buying an ETF is a simple and cost-effective way to do it. Unlike mutual funds, ETFs trade like stocks and have significantly lower fees. Ito yung 1-year and 5-year performance ng SPY, an ETF that tracks the S&P 500 index. Ang 1-year return ay 20.73% at ang 5-year return ay 80.72%. This data is from the Seeking Alpha mobile app. What are ETFs? ETFs or exchange traded funds are like baskets of investments, offering a diversified way to invest in a group of assets like stocks or bonds. This makes investing easier than picking individual stocks. You invest in a diversified portfolio all at once. While investing in an ETF is generally considered less risky than picking individual stocks because of diversification, it's important to remember that ETFs are still subject to market fluctuations. So, hindi risk-free ang ETFs. pero they offer a convenient and cost-effective way to diversify your investments. Next, pag-usapan naman natin ang best ETFs depending on your investment goals. This is for informational purposes only and not a financial advice. Always do your own research before making any investment decisions. Ito yung best ETFs for long-term growth investing, SPY or VOO. Ito ang ticker code na ipapasok mo sa trading platform pag bibili ka. This ETF tracks the top 500 US companies. Andyan ang Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Netflix, Nvidia, and many more. It's a great choice for long-term investors. Pero between the two, I buy VOO kasi mas mababa ang expense ratio at 0.03% versus 0.09% for SPY. SPLG is another affordable option for tracking the S&P 500. Similar siya to SPY and VOO but with a lower expense ratio of 0.02% at mas mura siya. So mas mura ang one share, $71 versus $550 ng VOO. Second is QQQ, Nasdaq 100 ETF. Ang ETF na ito is focused on tech giants, but it's more volatile and it has higher risk, but it also offers higher potential returns. And pangatlo is VTI, which tracks the total US stock market. This includes large, mid, and small cap companies, giving you exposure to the entire US market. Maski itong tatlong ito lang ang bilhin mo, goods ka na. Hindi mo na kailangang bumili ng individual stocks. Pero hindi ko agad natutunan ito nung bago ako kasi hindi ito tinuro sa amin sa Value Investing College. Kasi ang itinuro lang sa amin noon, individual stock picking. Next ay dividend ETFs with stable and growing dividends. Itong tatlong ito ang popular dividend ETFs. Ang SCHD invest in high-quality dividend stocks with steady growth. At ang VYM naman, Vanguard High Yield Dividend ETF focuses on blue chip stocks that pay solid dividends. At ang pangatlo, DGRO, iShares Dividend Growth ETF, focuses on companies with a history of growing their dividends. Kaya lang, mababa lang ang dividends nila. At malaki pa ang withholding tax for non-US residents, 30%. Pero 25% lang for Philippine-based investors with W-8 Ben form. Mali pa lang nasabi ko sa previous video ko, I double-checked ang withholding tax ng dividends for Filipinos na merong W-8 Ben form ay 25%, not 20%. Sorry for the confusion. Meron ding high-yield ETFs that give monthly income, ang covered call ETFs. These ETFs use a strategy that generates income by selling options on the stocks that they hold. So maganda ang covered call ETFs for investors who want steady cash flow kasi merong monthly dividends. QYLD pays around 12% annual yield, JP around 8% yield, at XYLD pays around 11% yield. Pero may tax na 25%, net yield ay mas mababa. Wala sa GoTrade ang mga covered call ETFs. Mga regular ETFs lang ang meron sa GoTrade. Pero personally, hindi ako nag invest sa mga ETFs na ito kasi malaki ang tax. Yung 12% dividend yield, ang net niya ay nasa 9% na lang. For high dividend yield, I prefer investing sa LTG, DMC, and SCC. I can get the same dividend and even higher yield sa SCC compared sa mga ETFs na ito. Yun nga lang, mas frequent ang dividend payments ng mga covered call ETFs na ito kasi monthly. Ito ang mga free resources kung saan pwede kang makahanap ng stock information at financial data ng mga stocks na gusto mong i-research. And for ETFs naman, you can visit the providers' websites like Vanguard or iShares to get more info on the funds kung saan interested kang mag-invest. Next, pag-usapan naman natin ang taxation. Please note, I'm not a tax expert, kaya general knowledge lang ang pwede kong ma-share. Okay, so yung unang-una, dividend tax. So merong withholding tax on dividends. Ang rate ay 25%. And automatically deducted na siya. So net dividend na ang makikredit sa account mo. Pangalawa naman, yung capital gains tax. Applied ito on profits from selling stocks. For non-resident foreign investors, walang capital gains tax sa US. However, since foreign brokers do not withhold Philippine taxes, kailangan mo itong ideklara sa BIR. This is a self-declaration process. It's filed under your annual income tax return. Honestly, hindi ko pa na-experience mag-file ng tax sa capital gains kasi buy and hold lang ako, hindi ako nagbibenta. Hindi ako tax expert at ito lang ang alam ko. It's best to consult a qualified tax advisor or accountant for guidance on your specific tax obligations. Now, let's take a look at my US stock portfolio. Pinakamarami ko ang Apple. Kasi when I started investing in 2018, isang stock lang ang binibili ko, Apple. Because I love Apple products and I am an iPhone user since 2007. Kaya Apple ang pinakamalaki kong allocation. And then, bumili na rin ako ng VOO, Meta, and Google. And yung other Vanguard ETFs, VTI, and VYM. And then yung MO Ultra Group binili ko kasi mataas ang dividend yield, nasa 7 to 8%. At na-FOMO naman ako sa Clorox at Disney. So nabili ko rin ito before the pandemic. Bumagsak ang share price nung nagka-pandemic, until now loss pa rin. So hindi pa rin nakaka-recover. Yung Disney 60% loss pa ito nung pandemic. Kaya lesson learned sa akin itong Disney. 'Pag mataas na ang share price, 'wag na habulin, 'wag magpa-FOMO. Move on and maghanap ng ibang stock na mabibili. And yung the rest naman ay nabili ko na after the pandemic. Wala akong intrinsic value calculation sa mga stocks na ito. Instead, I refer to the target prices of the brokers. Both Interactive Brokers and GoTrade have target prices that you can use as reference. Ang strategy ko now is to buy on dips on mga tech stocks at yung ETFs, specifically VOO and VTI. I wait for pullbacks before I buy so I can get in at a more favorable price. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.